Buddha lineage, of the lineage of the Dharma and the lineage of the community. He prevents the rupture of the causes and conditions, assuring pure happiness in the heavens and in this world. This is why he is honored by the Buddhas as soon as he is conceived. Thus the Keolopine Ka bird, when it is still within the egg, surpasses all other birds by the melody of its songs. Similarly, the bodhisattva Mahasattva, even before leaving the shell of ignorance, surpasses the sravakas, pratyekabuddhas and heretics by the sound of his preaching and his teachings. Vice Sakantai Brahma Paripracha, it is said in the Mingwang King. The Southavira Sariputra said to the Buddha, O Bhagavat, those who are able to understand the words of these bodhisattvas gain great merit. Why? If those who succeed merely in hearing the name of these bodhisattvas already derive great benefit, what can be said of those who also understand their words? O Bhagavat, if a man were to plant a tree without stamping down the ground around it, and this tree produced roots, a trunk, branches, leaves, and even gave fruit, that would be a rare thing. Well, the activity of these bodhisattvas is just as extraordinary. Indeed, without relying on any dharma whatsoever, they manifest births and deaths in the Buddha fields, and there, as if at play, they display at will the talents of their eloquence and their wisdom. Then, hearing these great sages displaying this talent of eloquence playfully and at will, who would not produce the mind of supreme complete enlightenment? At that time there was in the assembly the bodhisattva Piyuhua. He said to Sariputra, the Buddha has said that the Southavira Sariputra is the foremost of the sages among all the disciples. Today, O Southavira, have you not discovered the Dharmadhatu, the fundamental element of the Dharma? Then why not use your great wisdom to discourse on this Dharma as you will? Sariputra. The disciples of the Buddha only speak of its domain. Samantapuspa. Does the Dharmadhatu have a domain? Sariputra. No. 7b. Samantapuspa. If the Dharmadhatu has no domain, how can you claim, O Southavira, to speak according to this domain? Sariputra. I speak of it according to the degree it has been understood by me. Samantapuspa. O Southavira, have you understood that the Dharmadhatu is without measure? Sariputra. Yes. Samantapuspa. Then why did you just say, I speak to the measure that it has been understood by me? If the Dharmadhatu such as it is understood by you is immeasurable, the words spoken about it are also immeasurable. The Dharmadhatu is immeasurable and is not measurable. Sariputra. The Dharmadhatu is ungraspable. Samantapuspa. If the Dharmadhatu is ungraspable, do you find deliverance outside the Dharmadhatu? Sariputra. No. Samantapuspa. Why? Sariputra. Because the Dharmadhatu is inseparable from it. Samantapuspa. Is the knowledge of the saints that you understand like the Dharmadhatu? Sariputra. As for me, I want to hear the Dharma. This is not the time to preach. Samantapuspa. All dharmas being fixed in the Dharmadhatu, is there something to hear or something to say? Sariputra. No. Samantapuspa. Then why did you just say, I want to hear the Dharma? This is not the time to preach. Sariputra. Nevertheless, the Buddha said, two people gain immeasurable merit. 1. The one who preaches carefully. 2. The one who listens attentively. Samantapuspa. When you enter into the absorption of cessation, can you hear the Dharma? Sariputra. O son of noble family, in the absorption of cessation one does not hear the Dharma. Samantapuspa. Do you think that all the Dharmas are eternally ceased? Sariputra. Yes, I think so. Samantapuspa. The Dharmadhatu being eternally ceased, it is impossible to hear the Dharma. Why? Because all the Dharmas are eternally ceased. Sariputra. Without coming out of concentration, can you preach the Dharma? Samantapuspa. There is no Dharma that is not concentrated. Sariputra. If that is so, all worldly people are also concentrated. Samantapuspa. Of course, all worldly people are concentrated. Sariputra. In what concentration are all worldly people concentrated? Samantapuspa. It is in the unshakable concentration of the Dharma Dhatu that all worldly people are concentrated. Sariputra. If that is so, there is no difference between worldly people and saints. Samantapaspar. I do not accept that there is a difference between worldly people and saints. Why? Because among saints there is no dharma that is ceased, among worldly people there is no dharma that is produced. Neither of them escape the sameness of the Dharma Dhatu. Sariputra. O son of noble family, what is the sameness of the Dharma Dhatu? Samantapaspar. It is what was cognized and seen by you, O south of Iraq, when you attained body. Did you then produce the attributes of the sant? Sariputra. No. Samantapaspar. Did you destroy the attributes of the worldly person? Sariputra. No. Samantapaspar. Did you acquire the attributes of the sant? Sariputra. No. Samantapaspar. Did you see and cognize the attributes of the worldly person? Sariputra. No. Samantapaspar. O south of Iraq, what then did you cognize and see in order to acquire the body of the saints? Sariputra. The way of existence of the worldly person, the way of existence of the bhiksu who has just attained deliverance, the way of existence of the bhiksu entered into nirvana without residue. This way of existence is a single way of existence. It does not involve any differentiation. Samantapaspar. O Sariputra, it is the way of existence characteristic of the Dharma Dhatu, the unshakable way of existence. Aksovya Tatharta, and by this way of existence one will know the way of existence of all dharmas. Then Sariputra said to the Buddha, Bhagavat, there is no object that the great mass of fire does not consume. It is the same for the words spoken by those individuals who affirm that all dharmas enter into the Dharma Dhatu. Vimalekirtanirudesa Sutra. Finally, as is said in the Way Moki King, Sariputra and other sravakas said that they themselves were incapable of going to visit Vimalekirti in order to ask him about his sickness, and each of them told how, at another time, they had been greeted with derision by Vimalekirti. Thus, in many sutras, it is said that the knowledge of the bodhisattva outshines that of the sravakas and pratykebuddhas. Iv.outstanding qualities of the bodhisattva. Question. For what reasons does the knowledge of the bodhisattva outshine that of the sravaka and pratyekabuddha? Answer. As is said in the pen-cheng king, the bodhisattva has accumulated the knowledges for innumerable incalculable kalpas. For innumerable kalpas, there is no suffering that he has not undergone, no deed that he has not accomplished. In search of the Dharma, he has gone into the fire. He has thrown himself down from the top of a mountain. His skin was flayed. With one of his bones as pen, his blood as ink and his skin as paper, he transcribed a sutra. It was out of love for the Dharma that he suffered these enormous torments. In order to acquire knowledge, from lifetime to lifetime he venerated his teachers, looking upon them as Buddhas. He recited, studied and penetrated all the existing sutras. For innumerable incalculable kalpas, he ceaselessly reflected and thought. He investigated everything, beautiful and ugly, profound and superficial, good and bad, pure and impure, eternal and transitory, existent and non-existent, etc. He meditated, analyzed and questioned. In view of knowledge, he venerated the Buddhas, bodhisattvas and sravakas. He heard the Dharma, questioned, trusted, reflected properly and acted in conformity with the Dharma. Completely fulfilling such causes and conditions of knowledge, how could he not outshine the sravakas and pratyekabuddhas? Finally, the wisdom of the bodhisattva is assisted and adorned by the first 5 perfections. He possesses the power of skillful means. He has thoughts of loving kindness and compassion for all beings. He is not obstructed by wrong views. He dwells in the 10 levels. His knowledge is profound and his strength is great. For these great reasons, he outshines the sravakas and pratyekabuddhas. For these great reasons, the lesser ones disappear by themselves. The arhats and pratyekabuddhas do not have these prerogatives. This is why the Prajnaparamita Sutra says here, the bodhisattva who wants to outshine the sravakas and pratyekabuddhas should practice the perfection of wisdom. Fourth section, obtaining the gates of recollection and concentration.